What's up guys, today I'm going to be covering a pretty hot topic. What is harder, Warzone rank or multiplayer rank? Now, it's no secret that reaching top 250 in either rank play mode is extremely difficult, but I'm going to try to answer the question that so many people are wondering. Which competitive rank play mode in Call of Duty is more difficult, Warzone or multiplayer? So, to truly figure this out, we need to start from the top with the pros.
Well, let's go on the roof. Yo, these Warzone guys are dog shit.
Now, to give you guys some context here, HaZe is a Call of Duty pro with Optic Texas and a two-time CDL champion. The clip I just showed was at this year's COD Next event. If you aren't familiar with what COD Next is, it is a showcase event that highlights and promotes the upcoming Call of Duty game each year, along with changes made to Warzone and COD Mobile. Call of Duty invites hundreds of people out to this event every year, including COD pros and Warzone streamers, so these people get first access at trying the new game and showcasing it to the world.
Yo, where's Joe? I'm pretty sure it's Joe. It's Joe. It's Joe. It's Joe. It's Joe. Wait, let me assassinate him. I can make a TikTok out of this. Movement King versus Movement King.
Oh my god! You got him!
Something behind you.
No. Dude, that lumber got cooked, bro.
Yeah,
Back to back. Back to back.
Got it.
That is hilarious. We're embarrassing these Warzone cats.
Now, if you didn't watch any of the COD Next event, I'll be the first to tell you that these CDL pros absolutely dominated these Warzone pros playing in Black Ops 6's all-new Area 99 Resurgence map. HaZe, Kenny, and Methods won 4 games back-to-back, dropping nearly 50 kills as a squad each game, making these Warzone pros look like, honestly, absolute bots. Now, you may be wondering, how does this have anything to do with Warzone ranked and multiplayer ranked? Well, if we compare the best multiplayer pros against the best Warzone pros, we can see almost 10 times out of 10 the multiplayer pros just have more skill. That is why we see guys like HaZe and Kenny, who barely play Warzone, let alone rank, jump into a Resurgence game and make these Warzone pros look like bronze players. I mean, these Warzone guys play Warzone 24/7, yet still get fried by CDL pros, and it isn't even close. It just goes to show how good these CDL players really are. In comparison to Warzone pros, streamers, and even top 250 players, the skill gap is insane. If you've ever looked at the top 250 leaderboards for either multiplayer or Warzone ranked, besides all the cheaters, you'll notice a lot of current and ex-pros will be or have been on these lists. So if you've ever made it to Diamond, Crimson, or Iridescent, you may have even played against some of these players, just proving again how difficult each ranked play mode really is. Now, with all that comparison out the way, we can start to dive into the fundamentals. When we look at Warzone Resurgence specifically, it is pretty fast paced, especially Rebirth, dropping in, finding loot, buying loadout weapons, escaping the gas, with games lasting on average around 15 minutes, if your team makes it to the final circles. Now, if we compare that to multiplayer, Control, Hardpoint, and Search and Destroy, these game modes are much faster paced with the exception of Search and Destroy. On average, we can say in a typical Hardpoint match lasting around 15 minutes, a player may engage in about 50 gunfights, with the majority of these gunfights being close to mid-range. In comparison to Warzone, a player whose team survives into the final circles may only engage in about 5 to 10 gunfights, so the pacing and mechanics in itself are entirely different. In multiplayer, you don't have armor plates or self-revives, so the TTK is much faster, and when you die, you pretty much respawn instantly, taking you only a few seconds to get right back in the action. Versus in Warzone, where if you die, you will only respawn if your team survives the Resurgence countdown, where you will then respawn with just a pistol or a basic AR. So now that we've covered the basics of each rank play mode, let's dive into the SR systems. If you aren't familiar with what SR is, it stands for skill rating. So the more skill rating points you accumulate, the higher you will rank up. As you can see at the top of the screen, Silver 1 starts at 900 SR, Diamond 1 at 5400 SR, and Iridescent at 10,000 plus SR. Now this ranking system is the same on both sides, Warzone ranked and multiplayer ranked, but ranking up in each game mode are very different. Let's start with multiplayer. Unlike Warzone, in multiplayer you do not start each season off with challenges and rewards, which if you've ever played Warzone ranked you know is an easy way to gain SR fast. In multiplayer ranked, if you start in bronze, your lobbies may be pretty easy, but if it's too easy and you're dominating lobbies, you will gain a crazy amount of SR. In multiplayer, you only gain SR for winning games, but if you are a bronze player destroying lobbies, the reason you will gain so much SR for winning is because the game's matchmaking wants to bring you up to the rank it feels you deserve faster. Let me give you an example. If you are a diamond player starting on a new account at bronze 1, if you play your first game and drop like 60 kills on hardpoint winning the game, you may gain something crazy like 600 SR. This is because the game recognizes that you are not a bronze or silver player and it wants to rank you up fast, to place you in the rank you belong to be in faster, according to your skill. In multiplayer rank, the game essentially wants you to be hard stuck, so when you finally make it to diamond and are only gaining 30 SR every time you win, the game has succeeded. That is why it is so difficult to rank up in multiplayer when you are hard stuck. Now, there are a couple ways to beat this roadblock of only gaining 30 SR a game. If you suddenly get 5 times better and start going on crazy win streaks, or just get lucky and have a few really good days and go on some win streaks, you will slowly start to notice your SR gain increase, maybe from plus 30 a game to even plus 60 a game. This means there is hope. The other way to beat this would be to stack with players that can simply carry you to that next rank. Your SR gain per game won't increase drastically, especially if they're doing all the work for you, but at least you'll be able to rank up. In multiplayer ranked, it is a 4v4 format, just like the CDL, but if you solo queue and play with 3 randoms, the game will put you in easier lobbies than if you stack with 3 other players. This does make sense, as if you are a team of 4, you should be playing against other teams of 4, or at the least 2 sweaty duo stacks, or just 4 sweaty solos. The point I am trying to make here is that this is a clear advantage over Warzone ranked, as solo queuing in higher ranks in multiplayer can be mostly beneficial except for when the game matches you with 3 players with no mics and puts you up against a complete 4 stack who are sweaty as yeah, we've all been there. But anyways, let's move on to smurfing. Now, if you've watched any of my previous videos, you will know I am a big advocate for stacking with lower ranked players to get easier matchmaking. In Warzone ranked, if you are a diamond 1 player, instead of stacking with 2 other diamonds, stack with 2 golds and your lobbies will be significantly easier. It's as simple as that, guys. But not for multiplayer. This method for some reason almost has the opposite effect at times. If you are a platinum player who stacks up with 2 sweaty silvers in multiplayer ranked, you may just get placed up against a sweaty crimson player or ex-Eerie who is smurfing on some gold account. It does not have that same easy effect at getting easier lobbies than it has in Warzone, so you kind of just have to grind it out. Now, a big advantage multiplayer ranked has over Warzone is that no matter how bad you lose a game, the most SR you can lose is like 30 SR, which is definitely reasonable. Alright, so now that we've covered multiplayer ranked, let's just move on to Warzone. In Warzone ranked, you have what's called a deployment fee, basically an SR cost that allows you to enter a game, and in order to gain SR, you must get one of the following: placement points, kills, squad mate kills, or assists, and if you win the game, you get a bit of extra SR. The deployment fees from bronze to platinum are fairly low, ranging from 10 SR at silver 1 to 33 at gold 3, so many players can usually get to platinum pretty easily, or may even just solo queue to plat without even breaking a sweat. Starting at platinum 1, the deployment fee is raised to 39 SR, and it only gets higher as you progress through the ranks. Diamond 1's deployment fee is 60 SR, and Crim 1 is 90 SR. That's a lot of SR to lose in just one game. Now, the good thing about it is your deployment fee is the max amount of SR you can possibly lose. As in Warzone rank, each time you die, you will get a death fee, something like minus 5 SR with each death. But if your redeployment fee is 40 SR and you die like 10 times and then get wiped, you will only lose 40 SR. And another huge advantage to Warzone rank is that you can gain SR pretty fast. There is no real limit to how much SR you can gain in matches, so if you and your squad have a high kill game and get the dub, you can gain hundreds of SR. And as I have mentioned earlier, at the start of every season, you get SR challenges, which when you complete them, allows you to get easy SR and rank up quickly, something multiplayer rank does not have. Although it is true that you can gain SR quickly in Warzone rank, you can lose it just as fast, with a few bad games leaving you potentially hundreds of SR in the hole, so it's definitely a high risk, high reward game mode. Another disadvantage to Warzone ranked I should talk about is solo queuing. Warzone ranked is a trios game mode, and honestly, after reaching like Plat 3 or Diamond 1, solo queuing is pretty dreadful. You don't really get easier lobbies just because you are solo queuing, like in multiplayer rank. So in Warzone, the higher you rank up, it becomes more and more important that you have reliable and dependable teammates, which can definitely be a huge disadvantage to the players who just want to solo queue. So even though you can lose hundreds of SR quickly in Warzone ranked, I do believe gaining it just as fast outweighs that. And if you are hard stuck in Warzone ranked, in my opinion, it is easier to climb out of that hole versus in multiplayer rank, where you can't just stack with lower ranked players and get significantly easier lobbies. And even though Warzone ranks matchmaking seems like it makes no sense at times, where Diamond players have top 250 players in their lobbies, which you will rarely ever see in multiplayer ranked, I still believe that the skill gap between Diamond and Crim in multiplayer is still higher than it is in Warzone. From personal experience, I'll get more intimidated if I see a player who's eerie in multiplayer and Warzone, simply because usually that means that this person has insane gun skill and winning that gunfight clean will be next to impossible. And it's not because of the Warzone rank, it's the multiplayer rank that's intimidating, because in my opinion guys, multiplayer ranked is just a harder game mode. But anyways guys, those are my final thoughts. Thank you for watching. Please go like, comment, and subscribe, and if you didn't like this video, just go watch something else. Peace out.